I feel like watching this episode, my blood pressure was extremely high. Okay? All the shenanigans, all of the put a fork in it, we're done. Stop putting in effort. Stop having producers come on and try and convince people to stay. It's been done. And I don't know what else they can really do at this point. But we're going to get into it all from a therapist's perspective right about now. Now, if you are new here, I am Denise Brady. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist. Okay? That's who I am. All right? I know what I'm talking about, and y'all love me these videos, so make sure you hit that like, you subscribe, and you show the channel some support. Now, we had a little bit of a hiatus over the Christmas holiday, like a lot of these shows do, but oh, did they come back? All right. Now we get into the couples. It's 1 month anniversary. Well, 4 weeks at that point. 1 month. So the couple are trying to make shit happen that ain't happening. Okay, we're on this blanket together. We're going to pop champagne. We're going to reminisce about the last 4 weeks of this relationship that we both know is not going nowhere. But because it's a TV show, because of production, producers, I signed a contract. I'm here. Because it's not for love. It's not for a marriage. It's because some of y'all trying to show face, save face, and put on this act of who you are versus what we think you are from us watching. Now we get into the couples. All right. Now we're going to start with Carla and Wanito. They're so done. He's not into her. And the fact, let's talk about her quitting her job. Okay. See, a lot of people nowadays, they want that quick money, that quick success. They want to be a business owner. Okay. They want that EIN number. They think, oh, I got it. The IRS sent me my EIN. I am now official business owner. I'm going to quit my full-time job with no plan. Just because I see other people doing it. I see y'all with the PPP loans. Are y'all really a business? Okay. Are y'all a front for a way to get grants and loans? Let's keep it a buck. Okay. So Carla's like, she quit her job. And Juan, of course, is like, being the businessman that he is, girl, what you gonna do? You got anything on paper? What's your business plan? You got a gig coming up in New York. To me, it was more of, Carla, let's really sit down. Let's think about this. Let's talk about what's the plan here. And Carla is so aloof. No, we don't have anything on paper. I don't have a time frame. I don't have a budget. I don't know how much I should charge myself. Yet you quit your job. It's another example to me of the experts putting two people together who are opposites. One is very much the foundation of his life is about stability and growth and elevation. I do think that Carla is about elevation, but there's no foundation. When you don't have a foundation of who you are, what you really want, you have I want to be a business owner, but no plan. And a lot of people out here in this microwave generation want to, it look good, being a business owner, it look good, but it ain't all good. Especially when you're in the people business and all your income is based off of other people. You need to have a plan. You need to have a backup plan. You need to be able to diversify your portfolio. Because when then people stop calling, stop showing up, what you gonna do, baby boo? You gonna live off Juan? What you really gonna do? And Juan is like, you can tell he's trying to be polite, but he ain't in it either. Okay? And their relationship to me is just, it's not going nowhere. They're too opposite. The fact that you're married, and I don't think you should ask your husband to quit your job. I think there should be a conversation. Like, I'm still getting to know you, girl. We 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, you tell me you quit your job? What are we doing here? Where's the communication? I'm thinking about this. How could this affect us as a couple? Because we were building our foundation together. I'm thinking about quitting my job. And I want to know what do you think? Are you in a place to support me financially, emotionally, mentally? Can you do it all for me? Because I don't want to work a 9 to 5 no more. But instead, Carla's like, oh yeah, I quit my job. Okay, I have something lined up. This collab, this influencer thing I have going. Oh God, Carla. I still want to know, is Carla the baby of the family? Because it's giving me that you're the youngest, the baby. That you were doted upon. People have fawned over you. You have no real direction. Okay. Now let's skip over to Michelle and David. Okay. Because her passive aggressive communication style. I just wanted to come on, girl. I hate when people, when they're communicating and they're just like, okay, I'm fine. You can't have a conversation with someone when you're in a relationship and you say you're fine, yet your tone, your body language displays to me that that's not the energy you're giving me. Your actions show something different, your body language. But Michelle continues to be avoidant, be rude, in and out, in and out. Girl, what you gonna do? You want the man or not? Because apparently to me, you really don't. So I don't know why you are still here, why you're together, why you insist on continuing to put this man down. And at this point, David, to me, I don't know how he has so much, the fact that he's still so respectful, so polite. You see at times, even when in this dinner, that you see him starting to boil over, but he's still trying to control it. He's trying. But Michelle continues to nitpick. Okay. And one thing I want to talk about is effort in relationships. Okay. Because sometimes I feel like men put in effort and a woman wants the effort to be up here. That when they bring some sort of effort, like showing up, making plans, putting effort into a date, it's like, see, this ain't my kind of effort. Yeah, he put in his kind of effort, but it's not mine. And so instead of looking at the effort in general that a man is putting into a relationship, making dates, very much trying, it's that's effort. Okay. And I hear a lot of these relationship podcasts. I was listening to, it used to be called Horrible Decisions. I forgot what it's called now, but the same thing. The host, Mandy, was talking about her relationship and how her ex decided to throw her a surprise party, and she was pissed off because she didn't want a surprise party. And so she dragged him on her podcast, and they eventually broke up. And she didn't like how she said she didn't want a surprise party, yet he gave her one anyway. He invited all her friends. He paid for it. To me, it was like, what about the effort that that person put in? It wasn't good enough. And instead of talking about things, instead of, figuring out what effort looks like to me, what effort looks like for you, and how do we merge those things together into our relationship so that we're both on the same page about what effort looks like, people just cast people off. And they're just like, oh, you threw me a surprise party? You know I didn't want no surprise party. So you ain't ish for throwing me one. I'm like, the things I hear on these podcasts from these people talk about their relationships, I'm like, oh, that's why you are single. That's why no man is ever going to be able to be with you, because of your mindsets. But that's a whole nother thing, okay? But similar to Michelle, I feel like David does put in effort, but it's not up to her standard. And instead of communicating what her level of standard and effort is, I'm going to nitpick, I'm going to drag, because nothing he can do is going to change me, my mindset about him. I'm just going to nitpick instead of openly communicating, having a conversation, a dialogue back and forth. How come you never ask me any questions back? Because, girl, you don't want to give nothing. Why waste my breath when you have shown me over and over again you don't want to give anything? But instead, just the passive-aggressive communication style, the woe is me, why are you doting on me? It's because you have a wall up, sis. Okay, and instead of you recognizing you have a wall up, you're going to continue to, you're just not doing enough. You're not. Look how you're dressed. Sneakers and a sweatshirt? I would have thought he would have gave a little bit more for a 1 month anniversary. Now, him wearing that little sweater cardigan, you can tell ain't his style. Okay, so the fact that he even, to me, he put an effort into the way he dressed, because he knows this is, sort of special. He's trying, but why am I going to put so much energy into something where this is what I get? A wall. And she wonders, how come, you don't ever ask me anything, because everything he do is wrong, girl. But you want so much. You want so much. People in relationships, to me, they want a gold star. Okay, when they're not putting in no effort themselves. They want to be acknowledged like, I'm the best you ever had, blah, blah, blah. But where's my star? Okay? How about we put in effort? We reciprocate. We show up as someone who's equally wanting to put in the work into this relationship. But instead, I want all the credit. I want you to know that I have been here the whole time so that in the end, no one can say I didn't try. All right. But she continues to just nitpick. She's rude. She's avoidant. She has her own trauma that she has not healed from. And once again, I have said it would be great to see therapy on this show. See the couples attend real therapy sessions, probably in that matchmaking part, one-on-one with not an expert, but a therapist. Take us through, at least 3 sessions to show that there's some therapy being done to prepare you for being married. But instead, we matchmake on paper. He doesn't like to swim. She does. Let's put them together. Maybe she could teach him how to swim. Yeah, that's right. Okay. He's afraid of planes. She loves to travel. Maybe she can take him out of his comfort zone and help him get on a flight. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Over and over again. Okay. It's not working. Okay. So let's get to this epic dinner. Now we talk about, MA and Ikechi and how he ain't into her. And I think this season, this episode, he showed how much of a coward he is. All right. Now she continues to be classy, demure. She tries to save face. She's sitting there, to me, trying to build a relationship with someone who doesn't want to be with her. And over again, I feel like we see women of color taking on the emotional labor of relationships, taking on the burden of dragging a partner, because I want this marriage, I want this relationship, I want the baby. And she says, I came here for a husband. And here I am sitting on the couch. My husband is over there giving me nothing. As I'm looking at our wedding photos, I'm looking at these vows. He's giving her nothing. He reminds me of just like a curmudgeon-y, just like child, like, I don't want to be here. But since I have to be, wah! That's what it felt like. An adult man having an internalized tantrum. Since y'all forcing me to sit here and do this scene, I'm not going to give y'all nothing. Not thinking about how much it's hurting his wife. Not thinking about the repercussions of her feelings. Just like, wah! And how many men have adult tantrums? Okay, internal tantrums. Tantrums you can actually see. These men be having tantrums. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Okay, so she's trying to, be nice, and he eventually gets his backpack and he's like, I'm out. I feel like producers have been forcing him to do these scenes at the detriment of their relationship and her as a person, because his energy is just like, I don't want to be here. So I don't know if he's staying at his place and then they're forcing him or trying to encourage him to come and do these scenes. But you can tell it's not on his own terms. He always has his backpack. It's normally in public or it's a short scene. And so he picks up his shit and he's like, I'm out. And unfortunately, we see her go in the bathroom, turn on the shower to try and make it, that y'all can't hear her crying, but she is crying. She's distraught because she came here for a husband. She didn't come here for TV. All right. She came here for a real relationship. And so we get to them, getting ready to go to the, this dinner scene. They're all on the bus. And of course they're like, where's your man at? No, Michelle, where your man at? And she goes, Emmy goes into what's been going on, him calling her an asshole. I'm still trying to figure out, am I missing something? Because I have not seen her give that energy. Now, when we get to that dinner, I saw a little bit of spice. Okay, but I feel like that was antagonized, and I just don't get what he's talking about, that she treats him bad. He's walking on eggshells. I think he's trying to find things to weaponized to make himself feel better as a coward about his actions. Okay. And it sounds like she did not know prior to maybe a couple weeks ago that he had been on multiple shows. I feel like that was also some information that should have been given to her because it just shows a little bit about his character. But they get to dinner, baby girl. And I feel like him, I don't know if it's just me, but him and David, I feel like really didn't want to be there. But for some reason they were forced to, because they came in like, it could have been Eddie, and they came out with 10 minutes after one another. But he gets there, he's sitting at the table, Ikechi, and the tension is high. And everyone's like, what's going on with you, man? What's really happening? And people are trying to stick up for Emmy, and he's like, I ain't trying to hear it. He's a coward. Okay? He lacks accountability. He lacks the wherewithal to understand his actions. No matter what he does, she's always going to be wrong. Because she's the problem. And you have to be wary of people, friendships, family members, romantic partners, people who struggle to have accountability and turn that mirror around and reflect upon themselves. Because I wonder about the friendships he has. Does his bros, his friends ever try to tell him about himself? Is he reluctant to look inside and see that he's the problem? Because, they get into it at the table and she walks off and the girls go with her to the bathroom. And I feel like when she said to Michelle, I came here for a marriage. Okay, girl, read me down. I did too, girl. Just because I don't like my man don't mean I ain't come here for no marriage too, girl. Is what I got. Michelle was like, oh, yeah. I feel like Emmy was reading you right there. Like, I came here for marriage, girl. Don't know what what yourself came here for, but I want a husband. All right. Now I was clocking that tea that, okay, it's somebody else inside of Emmy, and she's fed up. She's tired of pretending. She's tired of making nice. Okay, and Michelle got a little bit of that. All right. But I think the most cowardly thing about him is that he left while she was still at the dinner. Total lack of, respect for her, decorum, a lack of just caring about her feelings and emotions to take off, get all your stuff while she's gone. You don't want to face her. You don't have a conversation that you're just like, okay, I'm getting my backpack and I'm going back home to be in my own bed, which I'm pretty sure he's been staying at his house the whole time and we just have not been seeing that. But he's a whole coward. Okay? When people show you who they really are, believe it. Don't try and convince yourself of anything else. And I don't really know what is to give from the rest of this season. These couples don't like each other. The only one who gonna make it at this point is Camille and Thomas. Everybody else, it's done. Put a fork in it. Give me the check. Okay, and I only had salad. I didn't have a T-bone steak. All I had was an appetizer. Okay? But it's giving done. All right? It's giving done. These couples are going to make it except Thomas and Camille. So the rest is going to be a lot of drama. I don't think at this point producers can even get Ikechi to really come back and try and make it work with Emmy, which is very sad because another black woman whose time was wasted, whose heart was broken, who really came here for something more. But I think similar to the other black couples and women I've seen on here, within probably 2 to 3 years, she's going to get engaged and be in a relationship and be happy there. I've seen it over and over. Once this show is over, I don't know if it's like the personal growth people do, what it is, but it's like within 2 years, the show is over and then the person is engaged and married or find their true love. But it's unfortunate that they cast cowards. And he has a low emotional intelligence and he only really cares about himself. And it's only a matter of time before him and his little book comes out. But I think he moved like a coward. That's what I got to say. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this episode? Man, it's done. Nobody want to be with each other. All right? But of course, I want to know your thoughts. Make sure you hit that like, you subscribe. And And we still got, what, like 15 episodes to go? All right. I will see you guys in the next video.